Hello and welcome to I've Seen Everything, where the name is ironic and the reactions are... Well, here we are, folks, at the end of the original trilogy for Star Wars. Episode 4, 5, and now 6, Return of the Jedi. Presumably the top of the mountain for most people when it comes to Star Wars movies. When you get into the prequels or the sequel trilogy or some of the other movies, it gets a little sketchy based on who you talk to as far as what kind of returns people have gotten on quality. But I think that some of the other content that's come out over the years, so the TV shows and other things that they've done with Star Wars, have maybe garnered some more love for the prequel trilogy and not so much yet for the sequel trilogy. I wonder if time will retroactively bring those into a more favorable light as well. I guess we'll have to see. But there's a lot going on with Star Wars these days that people are excited about, but it still, for most people, for pretty much anyone who loves Star Wars, all stems back to these movies, and this is the last of those three. So when we last left our intrepid heroes, Luke had found out that Darth Vader was his father. Luke had left his training with Yoda and Obi-Wan to travel to Cloud City to try to save Leia and Han and the rest of his friends, Chewie, everybody. He sensed that they were in trouble. Vader spent the entire movie of Empire Strikes Back trying to hunt Luke down because of what he sensed in him at the end of A New Hope. I don't remember if he knew all the way back then that Luke was his son, or if that's something he came to realize as time went on. I've heard that it's obviously a big thing in Star Wars lore that Leia apparently is Force sensitive as well, and that Vader did not sense that. I would imagine it's because they weren't initially planning for that when they originally shot the movie. Obviously, when they did the first Star Wars movie, they didn't know if there was going to be any more Star Wars movies. So some of these things kind of get added later on, and you have to try to find ways to fold them in. Anyway, I'm excited to get through the end of the original trilogy here. For those unaware of how we've been doing this here, this is not my first time watching these movies. This is my first time in a very long time revisiting the original Star Wars trilogy. I have seen these movies exactly twice in my life. The last time about a decade ago or so. So I've been revisiting them for the first time in quite a long time now. I do plan to move on to other Star Wars movies, some of which I've seen a long time ago, some of which I've never seen. So by time we're done with this journey, I will have presumably seen at least all of the Star Wars movies. I don't know if we'll make it to TV shows. We'll have to see. I know there's some good ones out there. We'll have to kind of pay attention to how this goes. But for now, here we are today to finish the original trilogy. If you'd be so kind, please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons down there. Click the bell so you can see when I put out new videos. And so without any further ado whatsoever, Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Here we go. For those eagle-eyed of you, you can notice I have a little wind filter on here now. Still trying to find the right balance, and I just listened to an audio sample, and I think this might be it. Let me know how I sound. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. If you say so. Every time. Like, hey, let's terrify the audience. Alright, let's see if I can do it this time.
Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Luke Skywalker has returned to his home planet of Tatooine in an attempt to rescue his friend Han Solo from the clutches of the vile gangster, Jabba the Hutt. Jabba. Little does Luke know that the Galactic Empire has secretly begun construction on a new armored space station even more powerful than the first dreaded Death Star. When completed, this ultimate weapon will spell certain doom for the small band of rebels struggling to restore freedom to the galaxy.
Well, yeah, a new Death Star could be problematic. I think we can all agree upon that. Now, well, I guess that's not true. I was about to say, are they building the new Death Star from like remnants of the old Death Star? But I guess not. I think the old Death Star was completely, I don't think there was anything left. I think it was completely destroyed. If there's one thing Star Wars knows how to do, it's huge ships. I'll tell you that. I know those other two ships were called TIE Fighters. What is the bigger one, the transport that Vader used in Empire? That one. What's that ship called? Talk about a massive construction project. I mean, who's funding this operation that they can afford to keep building planet-sized ships, even though they keep getting blown up?
Inform the commander that Lord Vader's shuttle has arrived.
So it's just a shuttle. No fancy name. It's such a simple piece of music, but just that little, the Imperial March thing, that little thing coming to represent so iconically Vader. It shows you, if you're good at what you're doing, how little it takes, you know? Just the character design on Vader, too. I mean, it's mostly the helmet that's that kind of iconic look, but...
I'm here to put you back on schedule.
I assure you, Lord Vader, my men...
Don't argue.
Perhaps I can find new ways to motivate them.
Yeah, he's gonna come in and start killing people.
The Emperor's coming here?
That is correct.
Yeah, if you don't want to mess with Vader, I think you don't want to mess with the Emperor.
We shall double our efforts.
I hope so, Commander, for your sake. The Emperor is not as forgiving as I am.
Oh, as forgiving. Yeah, that's comforting. I get the sense that working for the Empire, especially if you're anywhere near Vader or the Emperor, is more of a just shut your mouth and make sure you're not falling behind kind of thing. Failure's not really forgiven very easily, or at all.
Lando Calrissian and poor Chewbacca never return from this awful place. Don't be so sure.
Did he say that Lando and Chewbacca went missing? That was the other thing I forgot to mention at the end of Empire. They were flying off to go save Han, I believe. So now C-3PO and R2-D2 are just wandering through the desert. Does Jabba the Hutt operate on Tatooine where Luke lived?
There doesn't seem to be anyone. Goodness gracious me.
I believe there's someone there. That thing's not intimidating or anything. I didn't know an inanimate eye, or like, you know, just kind of a robotic eye sticking out of a door could be so intimidating.
We'd better go.
Yeah, I think it's going to open.
R2, wait!
I love how R2 is so shoot first and ask questions later.
R2, I really don't think we
He doesn't really pay attention, he just walks in. That guy looks like a wild boar. Yeah. I don't think this is going to go well. I recognize that guy.
We bring a message to your master, Jabba the Hutt, and a gift.
I don't know what this guy's saying, but I don't like the way he's touching R2. Not down with it.
No, John. I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, I'd have a bad feeling about it too. It doesn't look very positive. Jabba's having a love-in in here. Well, not all of it looks very loving. Music is peaceful. Now, this is not CG, if I'm not mistaken. This is actually a puppet.
I'm Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight.
Jedi Knight now.
I seek an audience with your greatness to bargain for Solo's life.
They did give him an iconic laugh, didn't they?
I'm sure that we can work out an arrangement which will be mutually beneficial and enable us to avoid any unpleasant confrontation.
That's a threat. I know that he's missing this part on the collar, but he almost looks like he's wearing a priest, like from the neck up there, wearing a priest's outfit.
As a token of my goodwill, I present to you a gift, these two droids.
What did he say?
C-3PO was not let in on the plan that he was to be given away.
We're doomed.
My favorite decoration. Well, that makes sense then. I was going to say why this became such a popular wall art decoration you could buy places. I remember seeing it around in stores.
It's an carbonite.
I wonder like what technology for that kind of stuff was back then. If someone actually sculpted that or if they did like a life cast of Harrison Ford.
It's something I did. I never expressed any unhappiness with my work. Oh, how horrid.
C-3PO does not cope well. R2 doesn't seem bothered. R2's the kind of droid you want to have your back when things go down. Ooh, that seems unnecessary. Branding a droid?
I am fluent in over 6 million forms of communication and have been without an interpreter since our master got angry with our last protocol droid and disintegrated him.
Well, that's not terribly encouraging for C-3PO.
You're a feisty little one.
Yeah, R2 really doesn't seem bothered. Does R2 have some kind of weapon or something going on that we're not aware of? It certainly seems like he was let in on information that C-3PO wasn't. Alright, things are getting decidedly more after hours up at Jabba's entertaining chamber. It's like a jazz club now. Alright, that's CG. You can really tell the difference between the CG and the non-CG. This singer. Okay, so what was this sequence before? Was there a singer? Or like, if you could, explain to me what was going on. Obviously, these two singing figures were not there originally. Oh, that's disgusting and creepy. Ooh, seems problematic. To say, we almost had nudity here in Star Wars. That woman... why do I think this doesn't end well for her? Yeah. All of this to be scary and exemplify Jabba's cruelty. Just kill people for fun. I think Chewie's being used as bait. The mighty Chewbacca. Told you don't mess with Chewie.
The mighty Jabba asks why he must pay 50,000. Because he's holding a thermal detonator.
Okay, I feel like that's either Luke or Leia, but I'm not sure which.
Jabba offers a sum of 35. He agrees.
Alright, so what's the plan here? Chewie was on the ship. Oh, I get it. It was Lando. It's not Luke or Leia. It's Lando. That's why they didn't come back. This is their plan to get in. Okay, no, that's Lando. So who brought Chewie in? I know. I just need to watch. Wow. Jabba's actually closes down at some point. Okay. That's the bounty hunter who brought Chewie in. I'm thinking Leia. Might want to not be so loud. I don't know how carbonite works. Is it possible to thaw him out right there? It looks like it. Looks like that's what they're going for. And success. Yeah, I'd say definitely Leia.
You're free of the carbonite.
I can't see.
She's speaking English, but it's so garbled it's hard to hear.
Who are you?
There we go.
Someone who loves you.
Leia.
I gotta get you out of here.
That's a special moment. I don't think it's gonna work though. Yeah, I was gonna say things are going too well.
I know that laugh.
So he suspected the whole time?
Look, Jabba, I was just on my way to pay you back, and I got a little sidetracked.
Not only has he lost his eyesight, his eyes are crossed, it looks like.
A day trip. You're throwing away a fortune here. Don't be a fool.
Do you know who you're dealing with? This is Princess Leia Organa. Ew, gross.
I can't bear to watch.
Kudos to whoever did the Jabba puppet. It is disgusting. Chewie. There we go.
Chewie! Get see, pal.
Yeah, you gotta get your sight back, Han.
Look, a Jedi Knight. I'm out of it for a little while. Everybody gets delusions of grandeur.
Someone told me how much time had passed since the last movie, and it hasn't been that long, I don't think. So I doubt that Luke has actually completed his training. But, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Seemed pretty serious in that video. If that's him, he seems pretty serious right there. Luke has something's happened. He certainly seems to have more skill than he did last time we saw him. Yeah, there's the Leia and the gold bikini thing you hear so much about. Would take someone as disgusting as Jabba to do that.
I must speak with Jabba. You serve your master well.
He's doing the mind control thing that Obi-Wan was doing, so he's definitely advanced his skill. Doesn't make Luke happy to walk in and see Leia that way and C-3PO.
Master, never no place Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight.
So is Jabba not able to be controlled, have his mind controlled by the Jedi?
You will bring Captain Solo and the Wookiee to me.
I get the feeling that the Jedi mind trick is not Luke's only plan.
You can either profit by this or be destroyed. It's your choice.
Luke is walking in there with quite a bit of confidence, so maybe he has completed his training. Alright, so now Luke has to go up against whatever killed that woman who fell down there. And I'm assuming he's going to kill this thing first. I think I know the name of this one. That's a Rancor, isn't it? This also shows you how morally bankrupt they are. They don't even care about their own friend. That could be any one of them. And they're cheering for it. Rancor apparently has a big appetite. Come on, Luke. You're all confident with your force powers. What can you do to the Rancor? It's an interesting strategy. Didn't last long, but I have to believe that door would be locked. You better run fast, Luke. Yeah, I mean, you weren't just going to be able to leave. That'd be too easy. Okay, there's an idea. Boom. Ooh, that's gonna sting. Come on, Luke. Use your force powers. That guy cares more about the fact that his Rancor got killed. That was his favorite Rancor. That Rancor would have killed him if it ever got near him. Would have swallowed him whole.
Luke!
You got his sight back yet?
How we doing?
Same as always.
That bad, huh? Where's Leia?
I'm here.
Why is Han always, Harrison Ford, whether it's Indiana Jones or Han, he's always barely holding on?
You want to be terminated immediately.
Good, I hate long waits.
The nesting place of the all-powerful Sarlacc, as you are slowly digested over 1,000 years.
It seems somehow worse in C-3PO's kind of cheerful voice, or a familiar voice, rather.
It's the last mistake you'll ever make.
Yeah, the whole chain around Leia's neck and Jabba treating her this way is kind of, well, not kind of, it's supposed to be completely disgusting, and they achieved it. very imaginative sci-fi for the time period to come up with even just concepts like this. That is a misuse of a R2-D2. I'm offended.
There's nothing to see. I used to live here, you know.
Oh, so it is Tatooine.
Just stick close to Chewie and Lando.
Apparently Luke has a plan. Does Leia have a plan? Was this part of Leia's plan to be taken prisoner like this? They strategically placing themselves around for an attack of some kind?
They're going to execute Master Luke, and if we're not careful, us too. I wish I had your confidence.
I have to say, I understand why they wouldn't let C-3PO in on the plan. He doesn't exactly know how to stay cool under pressure.
Jabba the Hutt will now listen to your pleas.
I doubt he would answer them.
You'll get no such pleasure from us, right?
Chewie's like, speak for yourself.
Jabba, this is your last chance. Free us or die.
I mean, it doesn't look that threatening from this position. I don't remember what happens here. Yeah, there's a plan. They're all in position. Okay, that was a signal to R2. Yeah, that's a creative way to use a diving board. And to deliver a lightsaber to Luke. I mean, this is far more dramatic, but he could have just gone into Jabba's palace with the lightsaber. I've heard that sound effect somewhere before, that scream. Oh, yeah, careful, Lando. You don't want to end up in the Sarlacc pit. I think I remember something about Boba Fett here. I don't want to say it in case I'm wrong. What I do know is it doesn't look great for Lando right now. Luke has no fear of this entire thing. He's not worried about falling in, doesn't seem like. Ooh. Yeah, that's what I thought happened. I thought Boba Fett ended up falling in the Sarlacc pit. Okay, so Leia was in on it. Either Leia was in on it, or she's improvising pretty amazingly right now. Leia choking out Jabba with the chain he's been holding her prisoner with. That is pretty graphic. The limbs shaking and her pulling until he goes still. But it's hard to say he didn't deserve it. Yeah, you might want to take out the gunners, Luke. Yeah, definitely CG Sarlacc. Boom. I tell you, those lightsabers come in handy. Both to fight and deflect. Come on. We got an emergency with Lando here.
It's all right, I can see a lot better.
That doesn't inspire a bunch of confidence. There you go.
Come on, we gotta get out of here.
Hey, you're in handcuffs. Make sure that you got R2-D2 around. Why was that thing pulling out C-3PO's eye? It feels like Leia is drastically underdressed for this party.
Let's go. Don't forget the droids.
Where do the droids go? Okay, so they went off the other side, away from the Sarlacc pit. C-3PO's having a rough time. He had an eye hanging out, but they made the point. They gave you a chance, Jabba. You didn't take it.
Hey, Luke, thanks. Now I owe you one.
No, they might be even now. How did Luke get his X-Wing back?
That's right, R2. We're going to the Dagobah system.
He flew into Cloud City with his X-Wing, but they took him out in the Millennium Falcon. I sense Vader. Or the Emperor, maybe. Yeah, probably the Emperor. It seems like it's played more for the Emperor and Vader than anyone else.
Wish to continue your search for young Skywalker.
Yeah, can't let it go. Itch he just can't scratch.
You must bring him before me. Only together can we turn him to the dark side.
I don't remember this actor's name, but it's interesting to think about how long this actor played this role.
As I have foreseen.
And that he was pretty young when he played it. This is technically the first time he ever played it in the original trilogy. And he was pretty young when he did that. They had to do all that with makeup. Yoda still hanging out on his own in Dagobah. Oh, no. Luke's back with him.
Look, I so old to young eyes.
No, of course not.
Is there any sense of how old Yoda is? They may have said it last movie. I don't remember.
When 900 years old you reach, look as good you are not.
Asked and answered. 900 years. Wow. Still feisty.
Forever sleep.
Earned it I have.
Master Yoda, you can't die.
I imagine he can.
Twilight is upon me, and soon night must fall.
Yoda accepting his death just like he's going to sleep, basically.
Already know you that which you need.
Then I am a Jedi.
Fair amount of the trading is in the real world.
You must confront Vader. Only then a Jedi will you be.
Yeah, that makes sense. You don't learn more from anything in life than you do from failure.
Is Darth Vader my father?
Rest thy name.
Well, he's saying rest. Is he dying or sleeping?
Your father is.
Your father lives. Vader is not his father. but Anakin's still alive in here, in there somewhere.
Not ready for the burden, were you?
I'm sorry.
It's really hard to talk during these scenes. I'm trying to listen.
Once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny.
I'm sure it was a lot harder to do Yoda's puppetry back in those days, but we didn't get a lot of Yoda. Got a few scenes of him last movie, and then basically this probably.
When gone am I, the last of the Jedi will you be?
Luke, I never thought about that. Luke is becoming a Jedi. He's just becoming a Jedi, and he's already going to be the last of the Jedi after Yoda passes here.
There is another.
That claim that there is another again. I wonder if he and Leia never talked about that she could hear him when he was calling out for her. Yoda passes into the Force. It's fortunate that, well, I guess that's what happened to Obi-Wan. So Jedi don't have bodies upon death. They just kind of evaporate into the Force, or their body goes to the Force as well. Luke is lucky he went to Dagobah and found Yoda when he did. He could have missed the opportunity to train with him altogether. I mean, maybe Obi-Wan could have trained him as a Force ghost, but...
You can't go on alone.
Yeah, you can.
Yoda will always be with you.
And yeah, they're still with you. Jedi get perks of not actually dying, but just changing form.
You told me Vader betrayed and murdered my father.
He ceased to be Anakin Skywalker and became Darth Vader.
Yeah, he became a different person entirely. Turned against everything he believed in.
Anakin was a good friend. When I first knew, your father was already a great pilot, but I was amazed how strongly the Force was with him. I took it upon myself to train him as a Jedi.
I can understand why they wanted to do the prequels, and from what I remember hearing, George Lucas always intended to go back and tell those stories. I think they were wrapped up in legal stuff for a while, but to be able to see the other most iconic character here, Darth Vader, how that character came to be, is a compelling story in and of itself, even if you know the ending. How did that happen? What did that look like?
You were our only hope.
Yoda spoke of another.
So he doesn't have to figure it. Well, he doesn't know she's a sister yet.
Leia.
Yep, there we go.
Your insight serves you well.
He knew because he knew she could hear him.
Bury your feelings deep down, Luke. They do you credit, but they couldn't be made to serve the Emperor.
This is the important evolution with Luke. At the simplest level, just maturity. But patience and not just flying off into things half-cocked, understanding the magnitude of what he's dealing with, being cautious and strategic about how he does these things. And you can see that in him now.
I'm surprised they didn't ask you to do it. You're the respectable one, remember?
I'm glad that Lando and Han reconciled.
The Emperor's made a critical error and the time for our attack has come.
Okay. Another woman in charge. There we go.
We also know that the weapon systems of this Death Star are not yet operational.
Well, that gives you a window of opportunity.
We've learned that the Emperor himself is personally overseeing the final stages of the construction of this Death Star.
Oh, they're going to Inglourious Bastards this thing. Not just take down the Empire, but take down the Hitler and the High Command. Space Nazis, you know.
General Calrissian has volunteered to lead the fighter attack.
Good luck.
Way to be a smartass at the wrong moment, Han.
I wonder who they found to pull that off.
General Solo, is your strike team assembled?
That's one.
Count me in.
Yep.
I'm with you too.
And Luke made it back in time. And Luke needs to talk to Leia. People made a big deal about Leia kissing Luke and all that kind of stuff. There was never a romance there. Leia was trying to make Han jealous. It was quite obvious. They talk about that as far as making this weird. And yeah, it's a little out there, but...
Take her. She's the fastest ship in the fleet.
She won't get a scratch. All right?
Han has changed quite a bit during this story as well.
Not a scratch. Would you get going, you pirate?
He basically begged him to take it, and he never would have let somebody do that, I don't think, before with his ship. He knows that Lando knows the ship well. It was his ship too. But to have that trust and to have something that means more to him than his ship, this mission is important to him, to all of them.
Just got a funny feeling, like I'm not going to see her again.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's looking at her like he's never going to see the ship again. I think the ship will be okay. I don't know about without a scratch, but I think it'll make it. All right. I really don't remember how this one goes. So a lot of this is going to be new.
Send the fleet to the far side of Endor. There it will stay until called for.
Okay, does he sense that they're on their way? And he wants them to keep watch in case someone shows up?
Your work here is finished, my friend. Go out to the command ship and await my orders.
Yes, my master.
I think that the Emperor's a little overly confident about their possible success here. He believes that nobody can withstand the allure of the dark side of the Force.
We have you on our screen now. Please identify.
Shuttle Tidarium requesting deactivation of the deflector shield.
Don't know if it's going to be that simple. I'm surprised that they don't recognize his voice.
Vader's on that ship.
Yeah, and Vader's going to sense Luke and Leia.
I don't know. Fly casual.
Fly casually far enough away.
Parts and technical crew from the Forest Moon.
Do they have a code clearance?
It's an older code, sir, but it checks out.
Vader suspects. Vader senses Luke and Leia potentially.
I will deal with them myself.
As you wish, my lord. Deactivation of the shield will commence immediately.
No problem.
Vader senses that they're on there. It's a big problem, Han. We just don't know where it's going to pop up. I'm sensing Ewoks somewhere. I know that's one of the things we still need to see that we haven't seen yet. And if I'm remembering correctly, this looks like where we probably meet them. We have stormtroopers there.
Chewie and I'll take care of this. You stay here.
Yeah, Chewie, keep it at a low volume. Chewie's not big on knowing how to whisper. Oh, I remember those. Those flying motorcycle things. I'm sure that's an overly simplistic explanation. Oh, a little twig, Han. Something always has to go. I mean, if something doesn't go wrong, then where's the excitement, you know? What are those called? It's one of the cooler vehicles they have. I don't know. I think I remember what it's called.
Hey, wait!
Just leave Han on foot fighting stormtroopers.
Jam their comlink, center switch.
This would be a fun video game. It'd be hard though. I know there have been lots of Star Wars video games. Are there any where you get to ride these? It's a dangerous place to not be paying attention. There's trees everywhere. And that guy, ooh, right into one. Now Luke got himself one. This does make me think of one of the few things I remember, and maybe they modeled it off this, but one of the few things I remember from Episode 1, Anakin as a child doing the pod racing. This must have been really cool in the 70s or 80s when, or I guess 80s when Jedi came out, to see this sequence and how it came out. Yeah, you're in trouble, buddy. You got Leia on your tail. Ooh, you actually got her. And then victory short-lived, that's for sure. At least she stopped him. Well, that didn't work out. Okay. Leia's gonna use a lightsaber. Ooh, he's not getting up from that one. But now they don't have any working vehicles. They're gonna have to walk all the way back.
Somebody's coming.
It is Luke and Leia. Well, Luke at least. Where'd Leia go?
Luke! Where's Leia?
Well, she didn't come back.
I thought she was with you.
Got separated.
Nah, I do not have any memory what happens to Leia. Even without seeing the face, that looks like an Ewok. When these movies came out, and even for the years afterward, even if you knew nothing about Star Wars, you still saw Ewoks everywhere. People have toy Ewoks and all kinds of stuff.
Cut it out!
Simultaneously cute and horrifying. The eyes and mouths are a little iffy.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
I don't know if he's worried about you hurting him. I mean, he's got a spear.
Sit down.
That's how you get him to warm up to you.
What is it?
Have the Ewoks been fighting the Imperial troopers? Or the Stormtroopers? Or have they been hiding from them? Ooh, maybe that's my answer. Nah, they got a sniper out somewhere. Can't see him. Yeah, Leia, I'd be...
Freeze!
I was gonna say, I'd be iffy about sticking my head out.
Go get your ride and take her back to base. Yes, sir.
Alright, Leia, gotta disarm him. Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe your new buddy will help you out. Nicely done. It sucks you had to wreck them both, though. Could have had a vehicle to use. Good thing you gave him that food. Yub yub. Seems to be a cornerstone of the Ewok language.
A small rebel force has penetrated the shield and landed on Endor.
That could mess up your plans.
My son is with them. I have felt him.
Strange that I have not.
So that lends to the idea that I think Obi-Wan suggested, or that Yoda suggested, that Vader is not completely with the dark side. The Emperor is, so he couldn't feel Luke. Vader isn't, so he still has some sensitivity for the good side of the Force. Now, they don't know that that means she's okay. This would be a lot more stressful if they hadn't shown us that she was okay.
There's 2 more wrecked speeders back there.
Speeders. Appropriate name.
I hope she's all right.
Don't the Ewoks live up in the trees or something?
What, Chewie?
He said come with him. Or I'm guessing he said that. What is that?
You reached my lightsaber! Yeah! Sure!
It's quite a funny predicament to find themselves in. R2 is never phased. He always has a tool for whatever it is to get them out of there. There you go. R2 needs to be able to get his saw out, that's all. I'm gonna worship R2 as a god. Come on, C-3PO, you speak all these languages.
Point that thing someplace else.
You see what he did with my spear? He threw it out of his face.
Oh, my head!
Hey, they let Leia keep her weapon. Oh, they're gonna worship C-3PO. They really are worshiping him. C-3PO is not used to that kind of treatment, that's for sure. There you go, breaking out the language skills.
What are you telling them?
Hello, I think. They think I am some sort of god.
Why don't you use your divine influence and get us out of this?
It's against my programming to impersonate a deity.
I mean, you can't argue with programming. I mean, there are Ewoks, but they have spears. So let's take it easy. They're carrying C-3PO around on a throne. The reason that I remembered the Ewoks living in trees is we didn't really have any Star Wars toys growing up, but I remember for some reason having an Ewok village. Not me, but I think my older brother did. Yeah, Han on a spit, basically. Alright. C-3PO on his throne. C-3PO ought to stay there after all this. Worshipped as a god, basically.
What did he say?
That it appears you want to be the main course at a banquet in my honor.
Might need to tell him to stop, C-3PO. There we go.
3PO, tell them.
What's the limits of 3PO's power? Call off the barbecue.
Tell them to become angry and use your magic.
Nah, don't mess with your Ewok god. Alright, Luke, time for your Jedi magic. Yeah, that'd probably freak him out. Don't just drop him, Luke. He's like, all right, fine, let him go. Just stop it. Okay, be a little easier with R2. Yeah, you untie R2, he can handle himself. Don't zap him, R2. Come on, they've learned their lesson.
Thanks, 3PO.
Never knew I had it in.
3PO actually thinks he did it.
Darth Vader.
3PO's quite the storyteller, complete with sound effects. It's one of the best forms of entertainment they've probably ever had. To a group of tribal peoples who have probably never seen a space fight of any kind. Leia laid against him, so he walked in too. 3PO tells a good story. They were interested, and they're the ones who lived it.
We are now a part of the tribe.
Hey, it's better than being prisoners. Alright, Leia, I think it's time to go talk to Luke. That Ewok's in love with Han.
Luke, what's wrong?
Do you remember your mother, your real mother?
Imagine this moment, finding out you're not who you thought you were. Well, in a way.
Why are you asking me this?
I have no memory of my mother.
I'm surprised either of them do. Aren't they babies?
Vader's here.
How do you know?
She knows too.
I have to face him.
Why?
Tell her, Luke. You gotta tell her.
He's my father.
Your father?
She senses it too.
You have that power too.
She knows she feels him there. Feels Vader there.
The Force is strong in my family. My father has it. I have it. My sister has it.
That's a hell of a way to tell her.
Yes, it's you, Leia.
She feels it's true. This would be something that you would normally...
I know. Somehow, I've always known.
Like, you're crazy. What are you talking about? But she feels it inside that it's true.
Then you know why I have to face him.
Luke, run away. Far away.
If he does that, then this will never end.
There is good in him. I felt it. I can save him.
And this will never end otherwise. He'll tear apart the universe looking for him. And Luke will spend the rest of his life in hiding, basically. It's a hell of a way to find out you have a brother. I think your father is Darth Vader, for God's sakes.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't know if Han could believe that.
I can't tell you.
Did you tell Luke? Is that who you could tell?
We're going to restart the jealousy garbage. Trust her, Han. If you actually love somebody, you have to trust them.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
Hold me.
Yeah, Luke's not holding her, is he, Han? You are. You got an AT-AT down there? They're landing a transport, but it just looks like a helipad. Is Vader going to be traveling in an AT-AT?
This is a rebel that surrendered to us.
I thought I remembered that. Luke surrendered himself, allowed himself to be captured.
He was armed only with this.
Good work, Commander.
I vaguely remember this conversation between them.
Been expecting you.
I know, Father. I know there is good in you. The Emperor hasn't driven it from you fully.
It's an awful lot of faith. Beautiful to have that kind of love and faith in somebody, but it's an awful lot of trust there.
You have constructed a new lightsaber. Your skills are complete.
I was going to say, why did he get a new lightsaber, but I remember now. He lost his original one when his hand got cut off.
Suit your feelings, Father. I feel the conflict within you. Let go of your hate.
It is too late for me, son.
It is an important story about how it is never too late to turn to the light. It's never too late to do the right thing.
Then my father is truly dead.
And even the way he says that, that's a challenge. Basically to say, if you're no longer Anakin Skywalker, you're no longer my father. He still has faith in him that he won't ultimately be able to do this.
The main entrance to the control bunker's on the far side of that landing platform.
He says there's a secret entrance on the other side of the ridge.
Well, that would be useful strategically in this mission. So, thank you, Ewok. I don't know any of the Ewoks' names. I'm sure they have names. There's Lando, leading the charge, getting ready for the attack.
Proceed with the countdown. All groups assume attack coordinates.
With the old blue screen, the reason it's so obvious is actually because the foreground is usually not, the contrast isn't as high as the background. Like the background's usually darker and stuff. So you can see by that.
Stand by.
Yeah, see, like right there. The foreground is not as dark. There's not true blacks in there and stuff. Ewoks are like, yeah, we have our poker games in there on weekends.
It's only a few guards. This shouldn't be too much trouble.
Yeah, famous last words. Feel like it'll be more trouble than he thinks.
Oh, no.
There goes our surprise attack.
Oh, jeez. Well, if it works as a distraction. He did not look like he had that under control.
Not bad. There's only one left.
Yeah, pretty smart.
I have decided that we shall stay here.
The Royal 3PO has decreed that they will stay there. There you go. Well, get a hold of it. You don't want to end up in a tree like one of these guys. It's a wild ride. There you go. Quite a strategy. Yeah, you're caught, buddy. Okay, well, they didn't kill him. Or, okay, maybe it's one of their guys in the suit as a decoy. I heard a shot, but then I saw him standing up front, but it's probably one of the rebels. One of the most iconic scenes in all of film. Luke, Vader, and the Emperor. I don't remember what the Red Guards are called. Imperial Guards? Is that what it was?
Welcome, young Skywalker.
Now, what is it with you trying to recruit Skywalkers?
Guards, leave us.
Okay, seems ill-advised, but maybe they wouldn't be of much help anyway.
In time you will call me Master.
Doubtful.
You're gravely mistaken.
It is you who are mistaken.
You're mistaken. No, you're mistaken. Very mature.
Your father can never be turned from the dark side.
He has his doubts.
Your overconfidence is your weakness.
He is correct about that.
Your faith in your friends is yours.
And he is incorrect about that.
It was I who allowed the Alliance to know the location of the shield generator.
It did seem a little bit easy, as far as a crucial piece of information like that. It seemed like it came a bit easy.
Oh my, they'll be captured.
Okay. Now there's got to be some way out of it. R2's going to save him. That didn't take much. Come on. Someone's got to come up with something. It's a trap.
Well, how could they be jamming us if they don't know?
Yeah, he knows. Get him out of there. Get him out of there, Lando.
All craft, pull up.
Yeah, You better move quick. They're gonna fire back.
It's a trap!
There you go. Famous meme line. There's one thing you can count on. It's that things are not gonna go according to plan. What fun would that be?
The end of your insignificant rebellion.
I doubt that very much.
Strike me down with it. Give in to your anger.
If Sith Lords die, do they go into the Force similar to Jedi Masters?
No. It is unavoidable.
Yeah, this Yoda was right. This is the ultimate test. To face failure and still not turn to the darkness. That's a considerable amount of Imperial troops.
All right, move it.
Now we're gonna get out of this one, guys.
Hello, I say over there. Were you looking for me?
Okay. Are the Ewoks helping him with a plan?
R2, are you sure this was a good idea?
Oh, it was R2's plan. Bangarang! Even though it's a different movie. I mean, they have more primitive weapons, but you guys might be outnumbered. At least it gives the rebels a fighting chance. Good shot, Leia. Yeah, get into the facility and blow the shield. They're pretty good on those vines, man. It's valuable to have characters that provide some comic relief to a fight, you know? There you go. First the AT-ATs and then these. Well, they didn't quite have as much luck tripping it, but that looks painful. You have to release. You have to release when you're doing it. It doesn't work otherwise. Boom.
Here's the terminal.
R2, where are you?
Where are you?
3PO's like, I am an Ewok god. You will listen to me. Boom. Hey, technology doesn't have to be current to be effective, you know? Primitive technology can still do some damage.
Watch yourself, Wedge. 3 from above. Red 3, Red 2. Pull.
I thought that was Wedge. I didn't want to say that in case I was wrong and he got killed in the last movie.
Cut to the left. I'll take the leader.
Wedge holding it down for the X-Wing pilots. Alright. That's an imposing shot.
I wonder what those Star Destroyers are waiting for.
That's a good question. I don't know either.
Hold here. I have my orders.
But I imagine we're about to.
Witness the firepower of this fully operational battle station.
Oh, so that part was false information as well, that it wasn't operational. Crap. Oh, jeez.
That thing's operational.
Indeed it is. Get the hell out of there.
It's all right. All right, prepare to retreat.
And we'll have that shield down. We've got to give him more time.
Yeah, R2, get to the bunker. I agree. A lot's riding on it. There we go. Ooh, that was close. To be fair, R2 is harder to hit. He's lower down. Same little his master hack tool that he's got. Ooh, I guess he's not that much harder to hit. Yeah, that looks like that's going to take a little bit to shake off.
I suppose I could hardwire this thing.
I'll cover you.
Well, you might have wanted to try that earlier if that was a possibility, Han. And there are lives at stake here. Oh, not the Ewoks. Come on. That's horrible. That's the first one we've seen die, I think. I didn't know the Death Star was capable of attacking in like a firefight with ships. I thought it just attacked planets.
Your fleet is lost, and your friends on the indoor moon will not survive.
They just keep coming back to the Emperor for him to say the same thing over and over again. All is lost, join us. And Luke's trying to determine if he's going to turn or not.
I can feel your anger.
He seems to be enjoying it a little too much.
Take your weapon, break me down.
Seem to be taking pleasure in Luke's hatred. There's a lot of faith in Vader being able to get to him first. Dropping in from above, that's smart. Don't make the Wookiee mad. Man, I was gonna say, I don't know if Chewie can fit in there. Can he? Oh, he can. Alright. Gonna be a tight squeeze. Looks like he's got more room in there than I thought he would. That's a helpful tool, turning the tide there. Chewie likes it. He wants to keep it. It's a unique way to take down a speeder. And that one. Wow. Don't mess with the Ewoks, man. You won't see them coming. Okay, those had to be set up in advance. Very effective, though.
I think I got it.
I don't think you got it. I think that's the opposite of what you wanted to happen.
Freeze! Don't move!
I love you. I know.
I love her, too, at this point. But I didn't know about that reverse of the I love you, I know thing. That's perfect.
Stay back.
It's Chewie.
Get down here. She's wounded.
Hey, Chewie, can you blast this thing open for us? Or Chewie can just destroy the station. Just start firing at it. There's no one in there but Imperial troops, I don't think.
Obi-Wan has taught you well.
Luke is probably the first person that's made Vader doubt since he
I will not fight you, Father.
transitioned over to Darth Vader from Anakin Skywalker.
You are unwise to lower your defenses.
Oh, he'll defend himself. He's just not going to attack you. Boom. See if you can do that.
If you will not fight, then you will meet your destiny.
Well, no argument there. He'll meet his destiny, but it's just not his death.
Good.
I mean, I think we can agree this whole thing with the Emperor is kind of the definition of a toxic relationship. Dude's getting off on people killing each other out of hate. There we go. Blast the hell out of it.
It's over, Commander. The rebels have been routed. They're fleeing into the woods.
Oh, getting him to open the door by pretending to be Imperial troops. There you go. Way to get captured.
Throw me another charge.
So how does the Emperor react when his plan falls apart?
Cannot hide forever.
I will not fight you.
The Emperor seems to count out the idea that people who care about each other and are fighting for a noble cause don't just give up. They keep fighting with everything they have. If there's a way out of it, they figure it out.
It is the only way you can save your friends. Your feelings for them are strong.
Do we know how the Emperor turned to the dark side? I'm sure that story had to have been told somewhere.
Sister, your feelings have now betrayed her too.
Yeah, even more reason why this has to end here.
If you will not turn to the dark side, perhaps she will.
Nah, Leia would be even less likely to turn to the dark side. Well, I don't know if Luke's fighting out of anger, but he's certainly motivated. Yeah, he has the upper hand in this fight. This is different than last time. There you go. Hand for a hand.
Take your father's place at my side.
If he wanted him to do that, he probably should have kept his mouth shut. Luke getting a look at his future.
Never. I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
That's a strong moment right there. Luke's not even just saying, I won't turn. He's saying, you didn't succeed with Vader either, completely. Boom. Boom indeed. Oh, that looks way bigger than intended. I hope they're okay. Well, they appear to be.
The shield is down. Commence attack.
Indeed.
Told you they'd do it.
Lead him in there, Lando. Time to destroy a second Death Star. Maybe they'll eventually quit building these things.
You will be destroyed.
Lightning fingers. Emperor doesn't need a lightsaber. No, so it puts Vader in a position where he has to defend his son, or he'll die.
Your feeble skills are no match for the power of the dark side.
Luke is really making this bet here, that his father will save him.
You have paid the price for your lack of vision.
Vader has watched and done a lot of horrible things, but now he finally doubts his decision to turn to the dark side.
Young Skywalker, you will die.
I have my doubts, Palpatine. Come on, Vader. Or rather, come on, Anakin. Time to turn back to the light. No! That's simple. No. The Emperor can shoot lightning out of his fingers and is one of the most powerful beings ever, but apparently can't handle being picked up. In the end, they didn't need to destroy the Death Star, maybe. Maybe that's all that was required. Or just killed him, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't look like Vader came out of that. Doesn't look like Vader's going to make it out of whatever the Emperor just did to him.
Now lock onto the strongest power source.
This one seems like it's a little more complex to destroy than the previous Death Star. Just had to hit the right port on that one. Ooh. Took your turn wrong there, Mr. TIE Fighter.
Split up and head back to the surface. See if you can get a few of those TIE fighters to follow you.
It's pretty impressive that Lando can navigate those narrow spaces with the Millennium Falcon. His ship is bigger than theirs. Ah, there it goes.
That was too close.
So much for the not a scratch.
Intensify forward firepower!
Apparently it's not intensified enough. Ooh. Yeah, bye-bye. You didn't get killed by Vader, but it went down all the same. A relieved Admiral Akbar. I didn't know he tried to bring Vader out. I thought Vader died on that spot. Or Anakin, I should say. He has abandoned the Vaderness of him.
Luke, help me take this mask off.
But you'll die.
Nothing can stop that now.
I was about to say, I think that's about to happen anyway. That's going to get me too. That's a powerful moment. It's too bad he couldn't be redeemed and still live on somehow. I mean, I know he will as a Force ghost, but look what it's done to him.
Now go, my son.
Still, Luke brought him back, even if only at the end.
Got to save you.
You already have.
At least he can die in peace.
Father, I won't leave you.
Luke, I don't think it matters at this point. He's gone. But his body, well, maybe I haven't got enough time. I was going to say his body didn't fade away like Obi-Wan's and Yoda's. Although, it's not going to matter much in a minute. They're going to blow this thing up. Bring it home, Wedge. Maybe now that the Emperor's dead, they'll stop building Death Stars. You might want to get out of there real quick.
The fleet, away from the Death Star.
Yeah, about to go boom big time. Classic getting out at the last second there, just as the explosions are going off behind you. Well, that was a TIE fighter, so that's all right. Come on, Lando. Gotta punch it. There you go. I've seen that as a meme before, or as clips before. That yeehaw from Lando. Nicely done, everyone. It was looking pretty sketchy there for a little bit. Couldn't have done it without the Ewoks.
I'm sure Luke wasn't on that thing when it blew.
She can feel him.
He wasn't.
She knows.
I can feel it.
You're going to have to explain this to him at some point.
You love him,
No. Okay, I'm just going to do it now.
don't you?
Yes.
All right. I understand. Fine. I won't get in the way.
Han, you can love more than one. There's different kinds of love, buddy.
It's not like that at all. It's my brother.
There you go. He's like, well, then what was that kiss about? He doesn't care at this point. Yeah, calm down, Han. It's okay. It's like, hey, I want to hug your leg. Time for a party. Calling all Ewoks. I couldn't tell if I didn't know for sure if I remembered. I thought I remembered they did that. He took his body to give him proper burial, proper service. Viking funeral, really, kind of. That's beautiful. Didn't want his father's body to go up on that ship. It is a little against tone to have a funeral and then have fireworks, you know? But yeah, understandably a lot of celebration due to the fall of the Empire. Everywhere. Look at that. Now, answer this for me, if you would, out there in the comments. How much of this was added or enhanced in later editions? Like, how much of this was in the originals of people celebrating everywhere with the fall of the Empire? People are going to party for a year straight. You know you're bad if an entity falls and the entire universe celebrates. You know that it was bad. This is probably as much of a happily ever after moment as you get in Star Wars. There you go. Later, Lando's going to tell him there's a scratch. There you go. There's not much to say. It's just... Wedge even made it to the party. It's just a lot of joy after a very long and dark period for the universe. There you go. I know that one's changed. They put him in after the prequels came out. I have heard people offer a very good question about that, which is... They don't put in young Obi-Wan or young Yoda. Why would they put in young Anakin? Maybe because that's when he ceased being Anakin, when he switched over? That might make sense. There we go, everybody. The original Star Wars trilogy in the books. Let's go to the wrap-up. Well, folks, we have reached a monumental moment. Is that right? Yeah. The end of the original Star Wars trilogy. I know that there's different versions of these movies out there. I don't think there's extended versions or anything that really has a lot more footage. I think it's just that George Lucas has gotten a bad reputation for, after new technology has become available, going back and tinkering with his existing works. Anyway, the matter at hand, Return of the Jedi. A very fitting ending to a wonderful trilogy. You can certainly tell why so many people love it. And Star Wars was a trilogy that for a while, I think, what was the gap? It was like... I'm not looking at anything, I'm guessing. I think it was 83 when Jedi came out, and 98 or 99 when Episode 1 came out. I mean, I saw that one in the theater. So that's 15, 16 years that people went without much of anything for Star Wars, obviously. You know, Star Wars is one of those that people had to really love, kind of stick with it without much to feed them over those years. I think there was extended universe lore, there were books and things like that, but went that long without movies, and obviously since the new movies have come out and Disney's gotten involved in all of that, they've gone to these lengths to try to create, to go even deeper into creating universes. If you were a Star Wars fan, if you're a longtime Star Wars fan all the way back to the original movies, what was it that sustained your love of Star Wars through all those years? Was it just being able to find a way to buy copies of the original movies and just watch them just regularly, or was there other Star Wars media that you were able to get your hands on that helped with that? New stories in the extended universe, that kind of thing. People say that they like Empire the most out of the original trilogy. I don't know if I do. I don't know if I would say that Empire was my favorite. I would be hard-pressed to pick a favorite. If I had to, I think it would definitely be one of the last two. It would definitely be either Empire or the Return of the Jedi. I liked A New Hope. There are very iconic moments, very important moments in A New Hope, but A New Hope, understandably, really feels like a lot of setup. We're just kind of getting going. And The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi is when we start seeing some of the culminations of these efforts. I can see Empire capturing the minds of children more who were seeing this for the first time, and he was so new and exciting. And there was, you know, the sequences of Luke learning to become a Jedi, Luke learning how to use the Force. We meet Lando. There's a fight where Luke loses his hand and learns that Vader's his father. So many iconic moments. But I might have liked Return of the Jedi a little better. I don't know. I know that's a dangerous position to take among Star Wars fans. But I don't know. Maybe because it's the third movie. Maybe it's because it's the culmination of this entire story, this entire effort. It feels a little more satisfying. Maybe because it's one of the only movies that I was going to say maybe because it's one of the only of these movies to end in a good place, but that's not necessarily true. The first one ended in a good place. They just blown up the first Death Star. So it's hard to say. So, I mean, this one, the stuff with Jabba in the beginning was, Jabba's disgusting, but Jabba's supposed to be disgusting. And I don't mean because he's a big worm, basically, or a big slug. I mean just because the tongue and all this other stuff, the disgusting stuff that Jabba did. I mean, any person playing that role, even if it was human or humanoid, would have been disgusting. But defeating Jabba, freeing Han, this entire effort to attack the new Death Star, the Ewoks, all of this stuff. Luke revealing to Leia that Vader is their father and she's his sister. Even the return of the I love you, I know, this time with Han telling Leia he loves her and her saying I know. That was a beautiful compliment to what happened in Empire. I didn't know that one happened. I just knew about the one in Empire. So I think I gave Empire 4 stars. I can't remember what I gave A New Hope. I'd have to go back and look. I think I'm going to give this one 4.5. I really did enjoy it, just I think a little bit more. Maybe if I went back and watched them again, my opinion would be different, but watching them through this time, I feel like that's where I am. I feel like I enjoyed this one a little bit better than the other two. But please tell me what you think. If you love Empire, if you love A New Hope, if those are your favorites, please tell me why you think those beat Return of the Jedi, or what your order is as far as the original trilogy. What's your first, second, and third? I really appreciate you being here with me to watch through this whole trilogy. And if you're a fan, letting me visit this universe that you've loved for likely so long. So many of you have loved these things your whole life, or they've been a big part of your life for years and years, if not decades. If you're enjoying these videos, please go ahead and remember to hit the like and subscribe button down there. Click the bell so you can see when I'm putting out new videos. Thanks for being here to complete this trilogy with me today. I'll see you on the next video. Take care, and may the Force be with you.